Hello, welcome. Dr. Sushma Singh this side. Today in Unit 12, Descent and Alliance Approaches to the Study of Kinship in India, we are continuing our topic on application of alliance theory to the study of kinship system in South India. The subtopic is marriage rules. Positive rules of marriage characterized the kinship system in South India. This means that preference for a particular type of alliance in marriage is clearly stated and practiced. We may remember that in the context of North Indian, negative rules of marriage tells us whom one should not marry. In South Indian, the marriage rules are quite clear about who one can marry. This type of preferential marriage rule, the preferential marriage rules are of three types. First, in several castes in South India, the marriage between a man and his elder sister's daughter gets the first preference. Among the matrilineal societies like the Nayars, this is not allowed. A simple diagram will show this positive rule of marriage in patrilineal South India. Here the ego is married with his sister's daughter. The next category of the preferred marriage is the marriage of a man with his father's sister's daughter. In other words, we can also say that a woman marries her mother's brother's son. In this kind of marriage, the principle of return is quite evident. The family which gives a daughter expected to receive a daughter in return in marriage. In other words, we can say that when ego marries her Mavs, she is given in marriage to the family from which her mother had come. Thus, the principle of return is followed in this type of preference. Of course, this process takes 2 generations to materialize. Lineage B gave the woman P in the marriage to a man N of lineage A. In the next generation, lineage A gave the woman F to the man E of the lineage B. Thus, a man's marriage and his patrilineal cross cousin reflects the positive rule of return in South India. Now, the next point is the third point of preferential marriage. The third point of preferential marriage is between a man and his mother's brother's daughter. In a way, this is the reverse of above. Some castes such as the Kallar of Tamil Nadu, Havik Brahman of Karnataka, some Reddy caste of Andhra Pradesh allow only this type of cross-cousin marriage. In the caste which have type of preferences, there is always an underlying notion of superiority or hypergamy. This is not present in South India to the extent that is found among the bride takers in North India. But in this type of marriage, the principle of no return or a wine must not be returned is practiced. Therefore, the bride is given only in one direction. The bride takers are considered to be somewhat higher to the bride givers. Lineage B gave the woman H to the man G of the lineage A. In the next generation, lineage B gave again a woman K to the man J of lineage A. Here a man's marriage in his matrilineal cross-cousin indicates the positive rule of repetition among some castes in South India. When one set of brother and sister marrying another set of brother and sister, there is no distinction between patrilineal and matrilineal cousin in the cases of marriage in their children. In such a case, the question of preference of one type and second type and third type does not arise, because the children of each set are cross cousins to the other, and they can and do marry. In the above three types of preferential marriage in South India, we find a definite tendency towards marriage within a small kin group. This group is just outside one's immediate family. The family seeks to strengthen the already existing kin relationship through marriage. Thus, a woman may find that by marrying her mother's brother, her mother's mother and mother-in-law are one and the same person. Or if she marries her mother's brother's son, then her mother's mother and her husband's father, mother are one and the same person. These examples go to show that the marriages take place within the limited kin group. This also shows that village exogamy is not practiced in South India. The agnates and affines can be found living in the same village. Affines in South India living in the same village are commonly involved in each other's social life. This kind of situation is rare in the context of kin groups in North India, but there are some other restrictions regarding in marital alliances in South India. We shall now look at them. The first is ceremonial. The next is ceremonial exchange of gifts among kin. The process of gift giving and taking reflects the principles governing the separation and assimilation of various categories of kin relationship. This is the reason why we look at this aspect of kinship behavior. We can distinguish between two categories of gift and counter gifts in South India, from certain persons to other persons or from certain groups to other groups. Gifts passing from the bride's family to groom family or the reverse can be seen as a series of exchanges between the affines. This is one category of gift exchange. The other category of gift giving and taking occurs within each of the two groups. We can call it internal exchange of gifts. It is sometimes possible for a person to receive gift from both sides. Because of the positive rule of marriage between relatives, often certain individuals are placed in the position of receivers and givers at the same time. In other words, there is a process of merging of relationship. We may say that in the context of kinship behavior at the ceremonial exchanges of gift in South India, the element of reciprocity is present. Though the bride givers have to pay more gifts than they receive. In comparative terms, we may also say that in North India, the gift travel from the bride givers to bride takers in a unidirectional manner. As a result, bride givers in turn receive the enhanced prestige and status in their own community. In South India, the positive rule of marriage means that gifts are exchanged among close relatives. There is always a difference in the amount of gifts both sides exchange, but their flow has to remain both-sided. It cannot be unidirectional as it is in North India. Here we want to close this lecture. Thanks for listening.